Hi, it's Tessa with Hip Over 50. So here I am in Portugal. Hopefully my packing ideas can help you with your next trip. So let's get on with the show. So first of all, my number one packing tip is to use two smaller bags instead of one large one. Now I'm a fan of checking bags. Nonstop flights, you really don't have to worry too much about getting your bags. And I'm not one of those people that wants to try to cram everything that I may need in a bag, especially if I'm traveling for a week or more. So this past trip, I decided to take two smaller bags. I have two smaller kind of carry-on bag sizes, one that works for US airlines and one that is for European airlines, which is a little bit smaller. And so I checked the larger carry-on. I put all my toiletries in there. I can't be bothered trying to figure out what the liquids rule is, how many you can carry, what size they are, which ones you have to pull out. So I just check all of that. I put all of the liquids, anything that's, a little whatever, I put it in the check bag and check it. And then the carry-on bag, I just put some clothes in to keep it light. Because when you're tooling around the terminal, waiting for your flight for 2 or 3 hours and you're on your own, you don't have somebody to watch your bags for you while you go to the ladies' room, it's a lot nicer to have a small bag that is not heavy. And the other option I came across when I went on a trip back to the US last year was I took a large checked bag and then I put my carry-on inside that. I packed all my clothes and everything that I thought I would need, and I checked both of them together. So one inside the other, kind of like a Russian doll. My thinking behind that was I knew I was going to probably be doing a lot of shopping for clothes, etc., when I was in the US, and this gave me the option of having quite a bit of room to bring things back. So coming back, I took my large bag, filled it full of stuff, and checked that, and my carry-on wheeled it on with me on the plane. So kind of the best of both worlds. So that is my top tip. Take two smaller bags instead of a large one, or if you're going on a longer trip, and you want to bring back a lot of things, pack your carry-on inside your larger bag. So number 3 on that note, I came over with a large backpack that I've had for quite a while, but it was so uncomfortable. When I was to ditch that when I got here, I went shopping and found this really nice personal bag that's, kind of like a large gym bag, but with all the pockets that you need for traveling. And it also has something called a trolley sleeve, which means I can slide it over the handles of my carry-on, and then that keeps my hands free. I don't have to worry about it falling off. And on that note, I think a small crossbody bag, in addition to that, is the best way to carry your passport, your phone, anything that you will need immediately. It's small enough, keeps your hands free, and I like a shallow one. I don't like these really deep ones where you have to kind of dig down and find stuff. I like a fairly shallow, narrow one, so I can just stick my hand in and pull my passport out or my phone out, and it's right there. A small crossbody bag to hold your passport and any boarding passes or whatever. And for you guys, they make really nice messenger bags for guys as well, so that might work for you. And then 5th on the list of that is get a key leash. So I had a key leash on my backpack, but when I got rid of the backpack, I lost my key leash. The key leash is basically a little string that's attached to the inside of the bag with a little, carabiner thing on the end of it so you can hook your keychain onto it. And this was great because, let's face it, when you're traveling, you don't need the keys to your home or your car that you've left back in the parking lot. But you do want to know where they are and you want to keep them safe. You don't want to lose them, God forbid. So the key leash is kind of an essential part of all of that. It keeps them safely attached and readily accessible when you do need them. Number 6, now this is a big one. This lesson I learned coming to Portugal in January. I thought, how warm could it be? Well, it turns out it can get quite warm, especially when you're used to colder temperatures like I am in England. So I didn't pack anything for warm weather, and I really got uncomfortable the other day on a hike. You know for certain that where you're going will be just hot or just cold. Pack at least one outfit for the opposite temperatures. So in my case, even though I thought it was going to be cold here, I should have packed something for warmer temperatures. And if you're going somewhere that you think is going to be hot, maybe pack something just in case it gets a little bit cool. Number 7, try a compression packing cube. Now, I just picked up a compression packing cube because I'm thinking I bought a nice big fluffy sweater here on sale, and it may or may not fit in my bag going home. So I'm going to try out this compression packing cube idea, and it should really help save me some space. So get yourself a compression packing cube just in case you need it for the flight home. So the other thing I'm really excited about, and this is number 8 on my list, is this organizer that I found on Amazon. I saw another YouTube video that was talking about the hanging version, but I prefer something that will sit on a counter. This one is fabulous. It's got room for everything. So I've got this one for my toiletries, and I think what I'm going to do is get another one for everything else so that I don't have to go digging here and there in different pockets, different little Ziploc baggies or whatever. I'm going to put everything else in a second one of these. It might take up a little bit more room, but I think it'll be worth it for peace of mind. I can just look in there, and if it's not there, it means I forgot it. So, and in that second one, I am going to pack a small first aid kit. That is number 9 on my list. I've never really thought about this before. I've always just sort of thrown in some Band-Aids and hoped for the best. But on this trip, I bought a new pair of shoes, and oh my goodness, I did need those Band-Aids, and I needed a little bit more. So I didn't bring my Neosporin, and I wish I had, because I had to go out and buy a tube of something that I can't pronounce the name of, and it's not as good as Neosporin. So pack yourself a little first aid kit with, have those Band-Aids in there. And again, if you're super organized, make a list of everything you have in there so that if you're out, you can immediately see that and you can replace it as needed. Number 9, I also got a designated organizer for my tech this year. I'm going to keep a backup charging cord for both my iPhone and my tablet, and I'm going to just leave it in there so that I don't have to forget it or try to remember it when I go to pack next time. I'm getting excited about knowing I always have the charging cord that I need instead of worrying that I've forgotten one. Put all of those cords in your tech organizer. And I got mine from Amazon. I'll put the link below. And changing that up a little bit, laundry. Well, I got to this lovely villa. There's a washing machine, which is great, but no laundry soap. So I went to the supermarket, and of course there's big boxes and bottles. I don't want to buy all of that just for a couple of weeks. But I found these great things called magic leaves, and they're basically a laundry detergent in a very thin little leaf. You just throw that in with your clothes, and your clothes come out clean and smelling great. They take up no room at all, and they weigh nothing. So why not buy some of those ahead of time if you're going to stay at an Airbnb with a washing machine? Put a few of those leaves in a Ziploc bag, and you're all ready to wash your clothes, and you don't have to worry about it. And then I'm going to get into some of the things that make traveling a little more comfortable, because that is really what I'm all about. I like to be comfortable. And, you don't expect to have all the comforts of home. Hopefully you have some new ones, but why not take along a few home comforts? And one of my favorite ones is my small portable Bluetooth speaker. Now mine happens to be made by Sony, but it is super lightweight, doesn't take up any space at all really. It can be popped into a bag, and it adds so much enjoyment. I can listen, via my iPhone. I can play podcasts. I can have some music on in the background, which is something that's really important to me. It really helps me feel at home and makes me feel comfortable. So a small portable Bluetooth speaker. And then you can also do a travel candle. That would be number 13 on the list. A travel candle with some matches, just a little candle with a little lid on it that you can imbue the Airbnb with a lovely scent, maybe a lavender scent, so that it helps you go to sleep and calm down at the end of a stressful travel day. On that note, also take tea or coffee packets. Yes, most places stock that sort of thing, but if you have a particular type of tea that you like to drink, let's say you're a green tea aficionado or you like your chamomile before you go to bed, take it with you. It doesn't take up any space at all. It doesn't weigh anything at all. It adds a lot to your enjoyment, doesn't it? And let's face it, guys, we are very particular about our tea in England. In the US, it's not such a big deal. So take your PG tips or your Yorkshire brew with you, and you will be glad you did. And on that note, one other thing that makes you much happier when you're traveling is taking a probiotic. I swear by this. I found this brand called Bioglan. They make a chalk ball, and it's basically a little probiotic that you take once a day. This one tastes kind of like candy. And it populates your gut with all kinds of friendly probioticisms. And that not only helps keep you healthy, it helps your immune system, but it keeps you regular, if you know what I mean. And there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you're traveling. You're under a little more stress, you're not eating properly maybe, you're not drinking as much fluid as you should. Taking a probiotic can really help things. In the US, on Amazon.com or on iHerb.com, you can find the brand Pearls, capital P-E-A-R-L-S. Those also don't need refrigeration, and that's the key thing with both of these. They're small and they don't need to be refrigerated, so that makes them super great for travelers. And last but not least, on my comfort scale, I'm a little bit of a Goldilocks when it comes to pillows. I've been known to, pack as many as 3 on road trips, but when you're flying, that's a little indulgent, right? And most Airbnbs and hotels have really upped their game on their bedding. It's really hard to find an uncomfortable pillow these days, but I still like to take my little travel baby-sized down pillow. It's just that nice little touch of comfort. And in a pinch, if you put it in your carry-on, you can use it on a transatlantic flight to just get your little Z's in. So there you go. I hope those travel packing tips were helpful for you. Something that I'm continually learning about. But if you have any of your own, please share them in the comments below. And I will look forward to seeing you on the next video. Safe travels. Bye for now.